Dear students, about ad hoc and sensor network security, today we are going to discuss about transport layer protocols for ad hoc networks. Transport layer protocols for ad hoc networks. Okay, so transport layer protocol is used for specifically for wireless networks and is not a variant of TCP. It is not a variant of TCP and ATP. The transport layer is represented by two protocols, that is TCP and UDP. Okay, transport for protocol and user datagram protocol. So the IP protocol in the network layer delivers a datagram from a source host to the destination host. Okay, and nowadays the operating system supports multi-user and multi-processing environments in an executive program that is called a process. Actually, a process is nothing but it is a task is initializing is completing from the source to destination, and it is explaining about the packet is sending from the sender to send to the receiver. So that the transfer protocol, that is transport layer protocol, is establishing a connection, a path between the source to destination, and how the packet is transmitting from the source to destination. Okay, right. So this topic is going to cover about the subtopics are which transport layer protocol and classification of transport layer protocol, traditional TCP, and why does not TCP work well in ad hoc networks, TCP enhancements, and other transport layer protocols. Okay, so the first one is which transport layer is protocol. Which transport layer is a protocol? Which transport layer protocol? That is TCP dominates in wide internet with the traffic share in between 80 to 90% of the transmission of the data. Yes, so TCP nowadays is wide internet, that is the transmission rate is between the 80 to 90% of the data. That is, it is characterized by the following it is based on the following properties, that are TCP is reliable, and TCP incorporates congestion control mechanism, and TCP is incorporates end-to-end flow control mechanism. Okay, so the following observations can be made concerning in ad hoc networking security. That is, it is preferable to seamlessly integrate TCP in ad hoc networks. Okay, and to enable seamless operation of higher layer protocols such as FTP, SMTP, and HTTP. So FTP, SMTP, HTTP, these are the higher level protocols for file. It is a transmission of file transmission protocol, and simple mail transmission protocol, and hypertext transfer protocol, hypertext transmission protocol. So it is not to make or less modifications in TCP as well as to make wireless and wide. TCPs understand each other seamlessly. That is, it is to split the TCP into wireless and wide part. So to concentrate internet networking functions in gateways. This is the classification of the transport layer protocol, TCP layer transport layer protocol, that is dividing into two parts, that is transport layer protocols for ad hoc wireless is network, that is TCP modifications and other protocols. TCP modifications is dividing into two, that is split approaches and end-to-end approaches. Split approaches, this total topic is going to explain in the following class now, and it is about split approaches and end-to-end approaches. Okay, split approaches is about split the TCP, and end-to-end approaches is about TCP, that is ELFN, TCP failure, that is this explicit link failure notifications. When the TCP is splitting, TCP explicit link failure notifications, and TCP failure notifications, and TCP bus, and ATCP, that is the AppleTalk control process. Okay, so the TCP is dividing the second part, that is other protocols. Is it about ATCP and ATP? ATCP and ATP. Okay, so traditional TCP, that is the major responsibilities of TCP in an active sessions are about provide reliable in order to transport of data and to not allow losses of data. It is not allowing to losses the data, and it controls the congestion in the networks. The main purpose of this transfer protocol is about it himself is having the mechanism of the loss the path. Okay, now further slides we are going to see that, and it control a packet flow between the transmitter and the receiver and not to exceed the receiver's capacity. So in general, we distinguish between the following operation phase, that is slow start phase and congestion avoidance phase, congestion control phase, and fast retransmit phase and fast recovery phase. This is the top segment structure of 32-bit, that is a packet is consisting of 32-bit and is dividing into two parts, that is source post number and destination port number. Source post number and destination number of the packet, and it is about the sequence number, that is the sequence number of the packet. When the packets are transmitting from source to destination, what is the sequence, the identity number of the packet, and it is also having the acknowledgement number of the packet. When a packet is transmitting, so packet is transmitted to the receiver's end, will send a acknowledgement to the sender. Okay, so here it is consisting of header length and used with acknowledgement, that piece, and requesting and synchronization and finite number. Okay, and is also having the window size. Window size is nothing but the packet size of, and it is also having the checksum, and checksum is using for is the algorithm is used for when is using for round robin method, or also is used for when the packet is sending to the receiver end or not. Okay, and it is also having the options and data. Okay, here this is the mechanism of the TCP connection establishment and rate on. Okay, that is sender to receive. When a packet is transmitting from sender to receiver, so here first of all it is establishing the connection. A connection requirement will be established with synchronization, and when the connection is established, information is received from the receiver to sender, that is connection establishes acknowledgement. So here it is receiving the acknowledgement, it again send the acknowledgement to the receiver, and this is the process of the establishment of the path. This is the process of the establishment of the path. Round trip time and timeout. This is every time TCP sends a segment, it starts with a timeout. So every packet is having a timeout and a time period, so that within the time period the packet has to be received to the receiver end. The following dynamic expression is used for settlement of the timeout, that is timeout is equal to estimate of RTT, request time is taken into plus 4 into deviation, where sample RTT is equal to, that is time that is the acknowledgement is received minus t. What is minus t? The segment is sent to IP, that is estimate of RTT is equal to 1 minus x. This is the time period is taken by from when the packet is transmitting from source to destination. Okay, and reliable in order data delivery, that is reliable in order data transmitter of TCP ensures the following, that are the data stream in the receiver's buffer is incorrupted. Data stream in the receiver's buffer is in order to no gaps in between the duplication. When the packet is sending from sender to destination, so the destination will send a acknowledgement, so that if the sender is also identifies that packet is received at the receiver's end, so that there is no chances of duplication, and there is no chances of duplication, there is no gaps. There is no gap. This is the advantage of the reliable in-order data delivery. Okay, so here we can see the flow control, how the flow control is taking place from source to destination. That is, data from the source to destination is about available space, TCP data in buffer. available space and TCP data in the buffer. The request sending from the sender to the receiver, the packet is sending to the receiver end. The receiver window, RCV window at the receiver's buffer. So this is the flow control service is a rate matching provided by TCP using the dynamic RCV window. Okay. This is TCP toy congestion control. This is a place where the three packets are sending. When the three packets are sending, and it is the pipe will be the threshold pipe. That is, the pipe will be the empty, drained out. The pipe will be drained out. So that what happens? The sender will be reinitializes. The path will be reinitializes after the three packets are sending. Here we can see the next slide, that is, see here, when the packets are sending more than 3, where it is a toy, TCP toy is established and it will be reinitialized. You see here, after sending it toy, it will be reinitialized, and again it will be sending the 3 packets, and again it will be reinitialized, and again this is the TCP toy, that is. Here TCP toy with fast retransmit. TCP toy with fast retransmit. What is happening here? It is sender to receiver. The segment is transmitting and it is duplicating. Okay. So what happens is there is the chances of duplicate packet is sending, so that there is a chances of the duplicate taking place. Okay. Because of the retransmit of the packet sending. Okay, so here it is TCP Reno, that is, duplicates are not indication of severe congestion on arrival of 3 duplex. An arrival of 3. What is the 3 arrivals are coming? Because of the TCP toy. Okay, so TCP Reno enters the fast recovery phase and performs the following actions, that are the retransmits the lost segment and does not enter the slow start phase, and reduces the slow start threshold to 1/2 of the current case window. Okay, and it also reduces the current window, current case window, to 1/2 of the current case window plus 3, because it is increases the current window linearly with reception of subsequent duplicate packs. Okay, this is about the TCP Reno. Here you can see the TCP toy is how it is taking the fast recovery procedure of TCP Reno. Okay, to overcoming the TCP toy, the TCP Reno is using that how it is overcoming the with the retransmission of the data. Okay, so TCP Reno is initializes, and every time it is not no need to reinitializes, and it is transmitting the packets. Why does not TCP work well in ad hoc networks? See, the following reasons are behind the poor performance of TCP in ad hoc networks. That is, it misinterpretation of packets. Why this misinterpretation is taking place? Because it is a TCP toy is taking place. Say it is reaching the 3 packets is transmitting, and the pipe will be the isolated and will be empty, and there is a chances of misinterpretation of packet loss, and so that it is useful in wide networks, and packet losses are mainly due to the congestions. Okay, so there is a chances of high bit rate, that is high bit error rate. High bit error rate is in about wide link is less than 10 errors, that is -9 in wide link, that is here. And frequent path breaks is about the topology changes and route reconfiguration. What is the topology and what is the route configuration will be reconfigured, and route reconfiguration is about is equal to, that is the frequency of number of nodes and transactions, and is based on the topology, is based on the bandwidth, is based on the traffic, is based on the nature of the routing. Okay, is based on the nature of the routing. Here we can see the throughput of a function of the number of hops. Okay, effects of contention of a dependency on the path length is with the topology is increasing, the number of hopes will be increased. How the transformation of the packets is taking place? What are the reasons? The reasons are behind is about the probability of the path break is given, where the path break is initialized is taking place of PB is equal to 1 minus PB, PL. Okay, where PL is the probability of the link break. PL is the probability of the link break. Okay, so here this is the probability of path break as a function of the number of hopes, function of the number of the path hopes. This is the misinterpretation of congestion window. Congestion window. Okay, so congestion window is the rate that is acceptable for the network and the receiver. Okay, so world path is congestion window reflects its rate, and reconfiguration occurs in congestion window may not reflect acceptable rates. Okay, so asymmetrical link behavior. Asymmetric link behavior is about sometimes wireless links are directional in ad hoc networks, leading to delivery of a packet to a node and failure in the delivery of acknowledgement. Why this failure of delivery acknowledgement is taking place? Because the packet is not received to the source, destination end, and so that the sender receiver will not send the acknowledgement, so that because of the failure. Okay, so some routing protocols requires the forward and RRQ is taking place, and resource contention. The both data and acknowledgement requires with RTS, CTS data link acknowledgement at the data link layer. Okay, and contention for resources in the same link at forward and backward paths. And multipath routing is also taking place. Some routing protocols use multiple paths between the source and destination, leading to high number of out of order packets, leading to duplicates. Why this leading is taking place, duplicates are taking place? Because it is not received the acknowledgement from the receiver end to the source end. So that what happens, the sender may not know that packet is received to the receiver end. So that what happens, the sender again sending the packet, so it leads to the frequency that values of unnecessarily retransmission. Okay, multiple paths. Here you can see the network partitioning and merging, how the paths are taking place in the partitioning. Okay, so this is the how it is taking the partitions, and the partitions are taking place, and again it is merging, and between the source to destination the packets are sending. Okay, TCP enhancements. TCP enhancements is using the link break in ad hoc networking. Link is breaking, you can see here the link is breaking between the source destination, so that the link again will be it himself is taking place, reconstitute the path. See, the path is established, but because of some inconvenience the path is disconnected, but the path again will be reconstructed. Okay, so in TCP failure, an intermediate node upon detection of the link break. Okay, so obtain the information from TCP failure sends package routed via this node, generates a route failure notifications. Route failure that is RFN is initialized. When RFN is initialized, the sender will send the modification, read send modification, so that the route can be re-established. Route is re-established, and updates its routing table and stores information about the generation of route friend. So when it is re-established, it will be updated in the table. When TCP failure sender receives the route friend notification packet, it enters the so-called snooze state. So when there is no connection between, it will be in the state of the snooze state. Where what is the snooze state is, the packet is not coming to that state, stops sending packet to the destination and cancels all the timers, freezes the congestion window, set up the root failure timer, and when failure timer expires, the failure enters the connected state and the connection will be restated, the connection reconnected, it will be reconnected. Here you can see that sender to receiver, here it is the first initializes the connection, and here the C to D it is disconnected, but because of request sending from that, and it snoozes state, and A, B, C, D, and the C is sending to sender A, so that request to, and it will be reconnected. C to D is reconnected, and it is from snooze state to the active state, active state. The following advantages of shortcomings are inherent for TCP failure. That is, here you can see that end-to-end transport, and here it is IP layer routing updates, and it is detection of link failures, or where the link is occurred, and that link where the detection is taking place, and it will be reinstall the connection. Okay, TCP with explicit link failure notification. TCP in ELFN, explicit link failure notification. Just now we have seen when the link is disconnected, this ELFN is established. According to TCP ELFN, an explicit link failure notification is used. So based on that, the link will be established. Either sending an ECMP, a destination unreachable message, and or inserting information regarding link break in root error message of the routing protocol. So once the TCP-LN sender receives the ELFN packet, it disables its retransmission timer. The timer also will be set up. Okay, that is case window, that is enters a standby state. And being in standby state, the TCP-ELFN sender periodically originates probe packets to see if a new route is established. When acknowledgement for a probe packet is received, TCP-ELFN continues to perform as usual because it is reconstructed. The TCP packet is taking place as smooth as the packet sending. Here the same packet is sending, how the connection is disconnected. Sender to receiver ABCD and C to D is disconnected, and sender ABC is taking initiation, and C to D is repaired, so that ABC and D is reconstructed. That the same taking place here. It is the intermediate upstream is known as the C to D. Okay, so intermediate upstream downstream is taking place of A, B, C, D, E is a smooth way of the sending and receiving the bus. Okay, this is the basic definitions for TCP bus protocol. TCP bus protocol where the TCP is taking initiation to continue the ABCD protocol. Okay, so when a link break is detected, intermediate downstream is taking place. Downstream is taking place. When a link break is detected, intermediate upstream is taking place. Downstream, upstream is taking place. You can see here how the lines are taking place. Here the dark line with arrow mark is TCP flow. Dark with arrow mark is taking place the TCP flow, and dotted line with arrow mark is light view, that is link view queue, that is link queue, and a dotted line with arrow mark is reply, that with reply, how the operation of TCP bus connection is taking place. Okay, and this is the following the advantages and shortcomings of unit of the TCP bus. Okay, so is avoidance of retransmissions due to buffering, usage of sequence numbers, and selective retransmission improves the performance in TCP, and dependency on the routing protocol, and buffering and intermediate nodes, they could be more when this intermediate node is appearing because of the connection is disconnected and reconnected. Okay, so this is the how the data is transmitting from IP to ATCP to TCP, and from TCP to ATCP to IP, how the data is transmitting from data to input to ATCP, ATCP to TCP input, and from TCP to data to output, TCP or ATCP output, and ATCP output to IP output. This is the way the packet is transmitting from the IP to TCP, TCP to ACTP. Okay, here you can see that how the packets are transmitting from the source to destination. Okay, so destination run unteachable packet retransmission because of the ATCP state transmission diagram. Okay, consider the case when the packets are lost or arrive out of order at a destination. What happens when there is a disconnection between the path? So there is a chances of the duplicate packets are sending from source to destination. This is where it is happening. The receiver generate duplicate and traditional TCP to it. This is traffic work is using. The sender retransmits the segment and decrease its congestion window accordingly. Okay, so ATCP is counts waits if the number of duplicate reaches 3 when it is transmitting at the number of 3, so it stops and it reinitializes. Just as we have seen that reinitializes, and if so, it puts ATCP in the lost state and does not invoke the congestion control. In the lost state, ATCP retransmits an acknowledgement segment from the sender's buffer. Okay, when ATCP is in the normal state, 3 duplicate packets are received, acknowledgement enters goes to lost state. If ECN is received, it enters the congested state and remains invisible for TCP. If ICMP duplicate is received, it enters the disconnected state. Okay, so this is how the duplicate is going to minimize. So in general, the following is made in ATCP, that is packet loss due to high bit error rate, or retransmit lost packet, or route reconfiguration delay and transist partitions, and stops transmission until the new route has been found. When there is a disconnection, the connection will be re-established, then only the transmission of the packets can be transmitted from source to destination. Okay, so here we can see the throughput as a function of the number of hops. This is how split is taking place of the TCP. Okay, the following are the major problems with TCP. TCP is splitting to minimizing the frequency of the transmission. Here you can see how the end-to-end delivery congestion taking place, congestion control and end-to-end reliability. Okay, so here split TCP provides the solution by splitting the TCP functionalities into 2 aims, that is congestion control, end-to-end reliability. Congestion control is using for how the frequency of transmission is taking place. Congestion control is a local phenomenon due to high contention for resources, and end-to-end reliability is used for end-to-end phenomenon. Here you can see how this split TCP is taking place. Okay, so TCP splits the connection into a set of concatenated TCP connections. Concatenated TCP connections to source to destination, and it is forming as a segment. Okay, segment is a zone 1 and zone 2. Okay, so zone 1 is a segment and zone 2 is a segment. How it is splitting into zone 1 and zone 2, and it is helping to reaching the packets from source to destination. Splitting of the TCP connections into segments, zones. Okay, so it is known as the proxy node is responsible for this. Proxy nodes are chosen using the distributed algorithms. Okay, that is end-to-end and a proxy simple way. That is proxy node behaves as follows. It maintains the case window that governs the transmission in a segment, and when packet arrives from predecessor, the lag is sent back. Here you can see how the retransmission is taking from the segments, zones, that is segment 1 to segment 2 and segment zone 1 to zone 2. Okay, so here you can see the dark line with arrow mark is TCP data flow, and dotted lines is known as the end-to-end acknowledgement. Dotted lines is known as the end-to-end acknowledgement, and dotted line with arrow mark is about the lacking, and it is the only the line is indicating the network link. It is the network is connected established between the hopes, and it is only the network, and the line with arrow mark is indicating the TCP data flow. Okay, and only the lines dashed lines is indicating the end-to-end acknowledgement. The following advantages and shortcomings are taking place in split TCP, that is improved throughput fairness, and requires modifications to TCP, the end-to-end connection handling, and the failure of proxy nodes may lead to throughput degradation, security encryption taking place, high resources are consuming. Okay, so this is the table is explaining about how the TCP, TCP ELFN, TCP bus, ATCP and split TCP is taking place in terms of loss due to bit error rate, path break, out of order packets and congestion, path break notification, path reinstallation, and depend on the routing, end-to-end semantics, buffer at interconnection nodes. How it is taking place in between the TCP failure, TCP ELF like that. Okay. Other transport layer protocols is using the TCP was not developed for wireless links, for it is using for what the advantages, features of TCP and end-to-end reliability and congestion control due to a high traffic congestion and end-to-end flow control. And what are reasons to deploy TCP in Hadoop networks is use installation base. It is taking in void is about use installation base. In void it is a number of connections is more and it is taking huge installation. TCP is not a good candidate for wireless mobile at Hadoop environment, and it is a new protocol that is could be more suitable than TCP for ad hoc networks and wireless links. Could be useful in military or medical or other specific applications. It is useful, wireless connections are useful for new protocols for military or medical is suitable. Okay, so application control transport protocol, that is ACTP, is using the TCP, UDP and ACTP. ACTP is characterized by the it is responsible for feedback or to reliability or packet or implicit or implemented of priorities is left to lower layers. Okay, and how the packets are transmitting between the interfaces, that is IP to ACTP application layer. It is application sender to sending packets to send IP protocol and to IP. This is how the it is communicating interface functioning used in ACTP shown here. Okay. Ad hoc transport protocol ATP. The following are the major differences between ATP and TCP. ATP uses rate based transmission and ATP separates congestion control and reliability. So the main purpose of TCP ATP is about the TCP is having the mechanism itself. Whenever the mechanism is disconnected, it himself is making to establish the reconnection, and it is making possible to sending the packets. ATP uses assisted congestion control and ATP uses selective acknowledgement, that is SACS. Okay. And consider special cases that are ATP sender has not received acknowledgement for 2 consecutive feedback periods, that is it undergoes multiplicative decreases of the transmission rate, and ATP sender has not received acknowledgement and it assumes that the connection is lost and enters the connection establishment phase. Okay, so the following advantages and shortcomings are inherent for ATP, that is improved performance in ad hoc network and decoupling for congestion control and avoiding fluctuations of a congestion window and lack of interoperability for TCP. Okay, so this is what we discussed today about transformation of protocols for ad hoc network security. You go through this. If you want to know more about this, you can mail me the questions so that we can discuss more about this topic. Okay, thank you.